soap. That gets most of the grease and the dirt off of it. And she has a little sponge in her warm water. And she's going to wash that over. And then there's a little tiny soft toothbrush. And she's going to scrub in her mouth and around her nose, because sometimes that's where the dirt sticks, and in the ears. So she's just going to some cold water, and she's going to rinse it underneath. Now she's trying to keep the water from going inside the head, so we don't have to dry the inside of the head so much. All right, we're here now with Kira. Kira is 8 years old, and she's going to start painting a fairy. And this is one of Marita Winter's sculpts that she's going to be painting today. So what we're going to do is we're going to be using Liquithin, which is a non-toxic thinner. And of course, then we're going to be using the non-toxic IRHSP paints. And there's a variety of colors you'll be seeing us mixing together. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a green wash on. When we do a wash, we want the paint to be really thin. So we put a little bit of the Liquithin in. What you're going to do is you're going to pick up your big brush, because you're going to do your head first.
This one.
That one right there. And what we're going to do also to help you a little bit hold your head, we're going to put a stick in your head. And you can hold it up here. Okay? You see? Now, what you're going to do is dip it into your paint. That's good. And you're going to smooth it all over. Yep, just like that. Paint it all over first to get the paint on. That's good. Smooth out all those big lumps. You can hardly see it, but that's okay. That's what it's supposed to look like. Just barely there. And now you're going to take one of the sponges, the big sponges, that one there, and you're going to pounce it up and down. And that's going to take all the lines out of it. You see the brush lines that you left? When you pounce it up and down, it takes those lines away. This is called blending and smoothing. Smoothing the paint out so it's really thin and no brush lines. It looks like skin. Behind the ears, that's usually a place where the paint sticks. And if you can't get in there with the sponge, you can use your tiny sponge to get in there. You want to check your other ear and then check around your eyes for any paint that's sticking in between. Okay, try to keep your fingers off because you'll take the paint off. That's why you have to hang on to the stick. So you'll have to go over back those areas where your fingers were with the sponge. Pretty well have it. One last thing, you have a really tiny little cotton swab. And what I want you to do is to stick that up his nostril hole so there's no paint stuck in there. Yeah, just give it a little twist. And look in the middle of his ears where the hole is supposed to be and see if you need to do a little twist in there. A lot of times, sometimes the paint puddles in those little holes. Yeah, I need to do a skinnier one. Why don't we try one of these brushes and see if it will go up. And you can hang on to it. Nope, try the other end. That's it. Okay, can you hang on to the stick and the arm at the same time? Yep. And try and keep your fingers down here. That's way. Okay, so now you're going to cover it all up and do the same thing as you did with the head. Yeah, spread all that paint out so it's really thin and you can hardly see it. This is one we might have to use the little mini sponges and Q-tips to get some of the puddles out.
You don't want too much green.
No, no, we don't want to turn them green. You could have a green fairy, but we don't want a green fairy.
No, we don't.
Okay, then you see where all these little creases are? Go into those and make sure there's no puddles in there. You see there's extra paint in between the toes? Yeah, that's what you're going to do. You're going to take the Q-tip and get that extra paint out. Sometimes if you take a little, what we call a little mop, pounce it on top of the toes and it might take some extra paint off too. Then you see where all these little creases are? Go into those and make sure there's no puddles in there. That's a good idea too. And put the paintbrush in there. All right, you've got another paintbrush here you can use. And remember to go in between the little fingers too with the Q-tip if you need it. We haven't baked it yet because we want to do one more thing before we bake it. So the first we're going to mix the paint, and I'm going to take some primary blue. We just need a little bit of this paint. Okay, and this time all we need to do is to add a drop of liquid. It might be a little bit too much. Hold on. If we get it too thin, then you can't see the color. I'm going to add just a little bit of more blue in there because I think I had 2 drops instead of 1 drop. And the first thing we're going to do, hold on, is we're going to put a couple little dots on the very bottom of the foot. Just 1, 2, 3 in the line in the middle. All right, now you're going to take your brush, your mop brush, and you're going to pounce it up and down just to blend it. It will make it softer looking. Does it look good to you, or do you want to add a little bit more blue?
A little bit more.
Add dots of blue, good. That's looking good. And be very soft with the brush. Just bounce it very light. That's better. Now you won't take it all off. If you bounce it hard, it will go away. That's good. I like that. Okay, so the other area you can do is behind the knee. Where the leg bends, there's a big crease in there. So do the same with that and put some little dots in there.
How many?
Yeah, you can do a little line probably. It would be all right. That's good. Okay, and then pounce up and down with your little mop brush. Perfect. Okay, now you can do your next hand. We showed everybody how to do the leg. We'll do the second leg later. Okay, now we're ready to put the dots on the middle of the hand, on the inside of the hand, where all the little fingers gather together. Now we want to keep it just a little bit away from the fingers. Just do it in the middle of the palm. Okay, let's try the head. So what we're going to do is take your liner brush and in between where the eyes, yep, right there where the nose is. And
Be very careful.
Being very careful.
There.
Okay, and one on the other side.
There.
Okay, do you need to pounce it or is it look?
I think I need to pounce it a little.
How about you want some in the mouth, in the back of the mouth. If you get any on the tongue or the lips, we'll wash it off. We just want it in the very back of the mouth. There you go, you got it. And on the other side. Do a little bit around the nose. You see where the crease is going around?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the nostrils too.
The ears.
Yeah, turn it sideways and we'll do it inside where the ear holes go.
There.
You just have to pretend there's an ear hole in there. Okay, and one more, yeah, I want you to brush it right across his nose, right over top of the nose. Yep, that makes it a little bit of a shadow there with the blue too. Perfect. Okay, I think we're ready now to go put it in the oven. And we're going to cook it for 10 minutes at 265 degrees Fahrenheit. And we will probably switch them around and do a little bit on the other side as well to make sure it's all baked.
Yep. You're doing a good job.
Great. Did our baking, we put a green wash over top of the doll because it was a little bit too pink. So now Kira is going to show you how she's going to make a model sponge. She likes doing this.
Hi. Okay, guys, now we have to make some holes in the sponge. So you have to pluck out all these pieces with some tweezers.
We want just tiny holes because this is a tiny doll.
If yours is a bit bigger, then you can do a bit bigger holes. So I've already done one. Here it is.
Yeah, and you
I'm
did
just
another
gonna
one
use
too. You
this.
did 2 of them, didn't you?
Yeah. So there.
And this is one that she hasn't painted with yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix up some paint for you to put this model on. And we're going to use strawberry blush.
Strawberry blush.
This one right here. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of it onto
The plate.
the paint. need my mixing brush. I like to mix with the fan brush. It makes it nice and mixes it easily. And then to that, we're just going to add 1 drop of liquid thin to make it thinner and make it go on smoother. Well, that's a little more than a drop. I'd say that's 2 drops probably, but that's okay. I think that will work all right. Okay, and then Kira's going to show you how she puts the paint onto the sponge. I mixed it all up for you. Got your sponge. Dance it a little bit on the side where so it gets all in. Okay, test it on the back of the head. And what does it look like? That's good. You want it to be there but hardly see it. And we want to sponge all around it only once if you don't pounce on top of it or it makes a big blob. And if you run out of paint, you have to dip it in. Just pounce. You're a little bit too light, so just pounce on a little harder and one at a time. We don't want it to get any on his lips. You can go on his ears if you like. If we get any on his lips, it's okay. We can take it off with a Q-tip.
Because this is baking paint. It only dries once you've baked it.
That's right. Okay, is there any big blobs that you don't like? Like I see one right there on his forehead. We don't want to take it all off. We just want to soften it so it doesn't look like it's a bruise. Okay. And soften it up with the little, you want to show them the little thing you're using?
It's a tool. You push this, then it has claws that come out, and then you put the sponge in.
That's for the mini sponges.
Then you can dab it on the spots that you don't like.
Okay, looks good. Ready for a leg or an arm?
I do the bottom.
Okay, so now we're going to do the leg. So she's going to sponge some on the leg. Smoothing it out on the spots that are really dark.
I think that should be good.
Good. Looks good to me. Okay, so before we bake, we are going to put on another model later with the yellow ochre. So I'm going to mix some here for you, and I will get some out with my brush. Put it on like I did before. And we're going to add, since two drops worked really well with the other one, so I think I'm going to do 2 drops on this one as well. 1, 2. Oops. Maybe, well, it looks the same as the other one. All we want to make sure is it's a little bit transparent, that you can see through it, and when you mix it, it should make it nice and smooth. So we're ready to go. Kira's going to use a new sponge she plucked, and she's going to show you another way how to put the paint onto the sponge. Okay, Kira, you ready?
Grab a brush like this one. Dip in here, then spread it across. So that looks like this.
And we're going over top of the red paint that we put on before, and we're just putting it here and there. And you can probably put some across the nose, because the nose likes to have yellow on it. We don't want to do too much, or we won't see the red coming through. Just here and there and a little bit around the nose. Okay, ready for the next
and some
one?
on the ears if you want.
Okay, next one.
Next, we're going to do an arm. I'll do the brush technique again. The baby hands. Shoot. That. Then we'll do a leg.
Are you pouncing heavy or light?
Light.
Now we'll do the other arm and the other leg, and then now we will bake it after we're done. So now Kira is going to ask, or is going to answer a few questions for us to learn a little bit. So Kira, what colors do you see on your baby now?
Green, yellow, and pink.
And why did we put all those colors on her?
To make her look more realistic, like a real baby.
And now what are we going to do on top of those colors?
Do the skin color.
Yeah, we're going to put a skin color on her now. Okay. All right, so now we have to mix our skin color. So we're going to be using the medium flesh color. We're going to need a little more this time. So I will put 2 blobs on. And this time, because I put more paint out, I'm going to put 3 drops. Okay, now we're going to mix it up. You have to press hard and mash it right in so it gets mixed well.
It kind of looks like
and
a
all
color.
around the sides. Do just make sure we got it all in there. I'm going to do one little last one. There, that should be mixed well. All right, so now we're going to use a different sponge. We're going to use this sponge. We have to have the sponge keep small, and we want this sponge has little dots in it, so it will give it a little bit of texture to it. Okay, so I'll let you use this sponge, and you're going to put the paint on with the brush, because the reason why we're going to put it on with the brush is because if you dip it in that much paint, it will have too much paint on it and will just be a big blob in the middle of your baby. Okay, when you have it all covered up, then you can start at the back of the head, and this time you can pounce on top of pouncing. You don't have to pounce it around. Make sure it's all blended. Yep, like that. And just the more you pounce, the more it spreads out or out of the sponge. Okay, you can probably move it a bit. It looks like we've got lots on there, a little bit too much probably. This is one you might want to put a stick in her head because we have to get it all around. There. Remember to hang on to the neck. And can Grandma show you one thing? Because this is the hardest part. Can I show you something?
Sure.
Okay, can I see your sponge? You see on here, I'm going to see if I can get the light in here. We've got a little bit too much going on. So we're going to do something, we're going to smooth it out. You can use the brush to do that. See how you smooth it out and put most of that paint around to the front. Move it out. Because we want it very, very light paint on it. That's the way. Once we move it all out and spread it out, then we'll go back and pounce it again. so we don't have any lines. Pouncing makes the lines go away. Probably have enough in that sponge to probably pounce on her cheeks and nose. Got it all smooth. If we get any on the lips, we'll take it off with a Q-tip. Okay, ready for the pouncing now. Take all those smoothing lines out. Now, do you know how to check to see if it's done right and if it's thin enough? Is you look at your baby and see if you see the red color come through and if you see some of the yellow and still some of the blue. If you can't see those colors, then you've got too much paint on it. And if we have too much paint, we can take some off with a clean sponge.
This clean one?
Yeah, well, no, we can take it off with this one.
Yeah, we can also take it off with this.
Yeah, okay. All right, now that we sponged that off, go back on with your texture sponge, the yellow sponge, so we get the little dots happening with the skin.
I'll just use this one.
Okay, so we hold on to it that way. You probably do have enough paint in your sponge to put on there. If you can't see any paint come off, you probably can put some more on with your brush. Right, so we're going to go and do a leg and show them how to do the leg.
It is an arm, so I'll do this leg.
Okay, good idea, because it was running out with the arm, wasn't it? And smooth it all out, so no lumps on it. Want to show the camera how it looks?
It should look like this.
Yeah. Using a very light touch because we got new paint on it. Okay, now we'll let you do the other two.
Pink baby lips right here.
And I'm going to add some
liquid in.
Just how many drops? 2?
2.
That's usually what we try for 1. That's almost 2. It kind of poured out. We don't want to put too much in because this time we want the color to show up more. And there's your paint.
So I'm going to take my liner brush.
Do
this, then do some little cheeks.
We're going to do the cheeks.
Like that.
Okay.
And that.
So what are you going to do? Little dots?
Little dots.
Dots, okay. Then we're going to use a mop brush, a big one.
This one. And then go
Bounce it up and down around on the cheeks.
And if you need to, you can add a little bit more.
Yeah, if it didn't show up enough, you can add a little more. Okay. You can also pounce it with your sponge if you like. Sometimes it helps it blend a little bit better.
There, like that. See those cute little fairy baby cheeks?
Okay.
If you want, you can make an elf, but we're making ours a fairy.
In the light,
it kind of has elf ears.
Put it on top of his nose and pounce it with the sponge. Probably will work better.
Now we can do some little rosy ears if you'd like. Like that.
Okay, and we're going to put some of that color on his mouth this time.
Yeah, you don't want too much or else it will look like your face wearing makeup.
Yeah, you're putting too much lipstick on in the morning. Okay, now we'll go and do the legs and the arms. Okay,
It'll do.
all right. Now we're going to put a little bit of blush right on top of his feet. And then you're going to take the liner and put it, you see all the lines in between his toes?
Yeah.
Just a little bit on the lines in between his toes.
So like right here,
Yep.
I do some blush?
Yep. Okay, we're back from baking. Now we're going to do another color, and we're going to take some of our dark purple and just a tiny, tiny bit of it. Put it over here because I have to mix it with some liquid in. And put one drop in. Oops, it might be a little more than a drop, but I think it will be okay. We want it very light and transparent. And then we're going to take some of this pink and put it in. And this is going to be for our shadow and creases color. What does it look like, Kira?
Like a violet-y color.
Yeah, you're right. It does. Looks like violet color. Okay, that should do. So Kira will show you where to put the crease color.
So behind the ears. Really. Now behind the other ear.
So tell me, Kira, why are you putting the mop on? What does it do?
It helps spread the color. So now time for the ears.
Good. I think we can move on to the arms and the legs now.
Now we're doing the lines inside the finger. We're gonna do some underneath the foot, some around the ankle, some in
And
between
around
the
and behind.
toes, and all the lines. Okay guys, so now we have to do some primary red.
And why are we going to use the red? What is it going to do?
It's gonna add a bit more blush.
And what do we add to the primary red?
Liquid.
How many drops?
1 or 2. I think 1. It's good. That's 2, but it's fine. It can be an elf, a troll, or a fairy. If you want, you can do some on the tip of the ears. That's what I'm gonna do. But you don't have to. We'll just make it look cute.
Spread it around. Good. You might want to use the bigger mop for that one.
I'll start with the tiny one.
That's all right. And if you have too much, how do you take it off?
With a Q-tip or
a
sponge. We can put a little on her tongue so that it gets a red color also. Because tongues aren't like white or anything like that. So we are going to gently put in the pieces. They cannot be touching each other though. Or they cannot touch the glass.
There, so we're going to bake it for how many minutes?
10.
10 minutes at 265 degrees Fahrenheit. And we are outside because we don't like the smell of the vinyl, and it's safer outside.
Okay, hi guys, now we're gonna do the hair. we're using Kool-Aid. And we need 1 teaspoon of vinegar, and we need a 1/4 cup of warm water. First, we have to put in the hair. Make sure that you don't get all tangled. Now we're gonna pour this into here.
And you gotta push it down, make sure it's all wet in the water.
Okay, so we have let this soak for 1 hour in warm water and vinegar. And now we're gonna add color with some Kool-Aid. This is cherry, and this is tropical punch. We do it in the sink so it doesn't stain the counter. Make sure that you're not going anywhere, because it can stain your fingers and it will take a couple of washes to get off. This is the color red, we think. We'll take a tiny little bit, sprinkle. Yep, that's red. Oh, it looks kind of red. Not really looking blue. Okay, so now we're putting on plastic wrap. You push it in. Okay, maybe 30 seconds is the best.
And now we're going to let it sit and cool.
I'm going to take the video, and Grandma's going to do this. And you will probably need your guardian to do this.
Why?
Because it's tricky. You don't want it to get tangled.
So it's cold now. And we're going to rinse it under the water.
Yep.
And squeeze it gently. Okay, we do it until all the water underneath is clear, that it doesn't run red.
Yep. We do not want red water.
And it looks like it's good.
Here's the other one that we've done. And you might want to flip it so both sides get dry. And it is curly hair.
That one is curly. The other one I think is straight.
Yeah. Okay, so we put the sparkles on the ears and nose. We put some eyes in. I did blue eyes for my fairy. Now we're going to put in some hair. I've started it. So turn the head upside down. Do this. Get the needle and go. So I'm going to do some of it, but since I have to leave, Grandma's going to do the rest. There. Now take the hair away, and we got some more hair.
Wow. Are you happy with your fairy?
Yeah, I like it a lot, actually. Here we got more. It's turning out good.
We gave her a short needle so that it was safer for her to use. And it has 6 barbs in it, so she can grab some hair with it.
If you only have long ones, then maybe it's best for adults to do this for you.
Is it fun?
Yeah. Our hairstyle for this doll is going to be a ponytail.
So we're going to make it long and make a ponytail out.
There.
Very good job.
Just do the hair now. We'll continue off screen.